In the heart of the verdant meadows, there lived a magnificent horse named Champ. Majestic, with a coat as glossy as a raven's wing and eyes sparkling with wisdom, Champ was indeed a sight to behold. He was a horse of unparalleled strength, his muscles rippling under his sleek coat, and a speed that could outpace the wind itself. But Champ wasn't just about strength and speed. This remarkable horse was also the embodiment of love and family values. He was the son of the graceful Daisy, a mare whose beauty was the talk of the meadows, and the powerful Thunder, a stallion whose strength was legendary. Together, they made a family that was admired by all. Champ, Daisy, and Thunder led a tranquil life in the heart of the meadows, their days filled with joy, warmth, and contentment. A loving family they were, living a peaceful life until a challenge was about to change their lives forever. Life in the meadows was serene and full of joy for Champ and his family. In the heart of the vast green meadows, each day was a new adventure for young and sprightly Champ. His mornings were spent frolicking around, his hooves kicking up the dew-kissed grass. He was the embodiment of youthful energy, his playful antics bringing laughter and lightness to the meadow. Daisy, his mother, was the epitome of love and care. She watched over Champ with a tender eye, her nurturing nature wrapping the family in warmth. Daisy's days were filled with grazing on the lush grass and basking in the sun, her calm presence a comforting constant in their lives. Then there was Thunder, the head of the family. He was a majestic horse, his strong and protective instincts making him the pillar of their little family. Thunder was always alert, his wise eyes scanning the surroundings for any signs of danger. His commanding presence was a reassurance for Champ and Daisy, his strength their shield. Their lives were a symphony of love, laughter, and mutual respect, each one playing their part in perfect harmony. The bond they shared was unshakable, their love for each other a beacon of light in the vast meadows. But as the sun set one day, a storm was brewing, both in the sky and in their lives. With the arrival of the storm, there came an unexpected challenge. As if from nowhere, the storm roared in, bringing with it a torrential downpour and gusty winds. The peaceful meadow, where our hero, the valiant horse Champ, and his family had been grazing, was now a scene of utter chaos. The storm was relentless, showing no mercy as it tore through their tranquil home. The once serene brook was now a raging river, and the sturdy trees that had provided shade and shelter were now bending and cracking under the harsh onslaught of the wind. The family's haven was disintegrating right before their eyes. In the midst of this chaos, our young Champ was caught in a whirlwind of confusion and fear. His eyes, usually bright and full of curiosity, were now wide with terror. He looked around for his parents, but all he could see was the blinding rain and the swirling debris. His parents, his pillars of strength, were nowhere in sight. His heart pounded in his chest as he called out for them, but his voice was drowned out by the howling wind. The storm was like a cruel jokester playing a game of hide and seek, hiding his parents somewhere he couldn't find. His home was no longer the safe and comforting place he had known. It was now a battleground, where he was left alone to face the wrath of the storm. Champ was a brave horse, but the fear of losing his parents and the confusion caused by the storm was overwhelming. He was just a young horse, still learning about the world and his place in it. This storm was his first encounter with such raw and unforgiving forces of nature, and it was a terrifying experience. Yet, amidst the chaos and fear, there was a glimmer of hope. A spark of determination ignited within him. He couldn't give up. He wouldn't give up. He had to find his parents. He had to weather the storm. Alone and scared, Champ was left to face the aftermath of the storm. Despite his fear, Champ knew he had to find his family. His heart pounded in his chest, but the love he felt for his family propelled him forward. The storm had separated them, and now the only thing that mattered was bringing them back together. Champ, our gallant horse, was not just a creature of strength, but of courage and determination. He was a beacon of hope in a world that had suddenly become so unpredictable. As he ventured out into the unknown, each step further into the wilderness was a testament to his unwavering resolve. His journey was not without challenges. The once familiar landscapes were now a maze of obstacles. The first hurdle came in the form of a rapid river, its waters rushing furiously, stirred up by the storm. But Champ didn't let the sight daunt him. He took a deep breath, gathering his courage, and plunged into the waters. The currents were strong, but his resolve was stronger. With powerful strokes, he battled the waves, and finally, after what felt like an eternity, he reached the other side. Next came the dense forest, a labyrinth of trees and undergrowth. The forest was thick and the path was not clear. It was easy to lose one's way in this wilderness, but Champ pushed on. He relied on his instincts, moving through the undergrowth, navigating his way through the thickets and thorns. His determination was like a compass guiding him through the forest. Each challenge he faced, each obstacle he overcame only added to his resolve. His love for his family was his driving force, pushing him to go beyond his limits. There were moments of fear, moments of doubt, but they were swiftly replaced by his unwavering courage and determination. Champ knew that the journey was far from over, but he was ready to face whatever came his way, because he knew that at the end of this journey, he would find his family. With each passing moment, Champ's resolve only grew stronger. After days of relentless search, Champ's perseverance finally led him to a familiar sight. The sight was one that warmed his heart and filled his eyes with tears of joy. The sight of his family, his parents, safe and sound. The moment was magical. The air was filled with a sense of joy and relief that was almost palpable. Champ could hardly believe his eyes. After days of worry and fear, the sight of his parents was like a soothing balm to his anxious heart. He galloped towards them, his heart pounding in his chest. His eyes, glistening with tears, were fixed on them. He was home, he was with his family. The storm had passed. Upon seeing their son, his parents were filled with a joy that words could hardly describe. Their hearts swelled with relief and happiness as they saw Champ galloping towards them. They had feared the worst, but now they were reunited with their son. Their family was complete again. As Champ reached them, they nuzzled each other, their bodies shaking with joy and relief. Their hearts were overflowing with love for each other. The fear and worry that had consumed them for days was now replaced with a sense of peace and contentment. They were a family once again. The reunion was emotional, filled with tears of joy and relief, but it was also a moment of realization. They realized that the storm, as terrifying as it was, had brought them closer. It had made them realize the importance of family, of sticking together through thick and thin. Champ, who was once a playful and carefree horse, had become a brave and responsible one. The search for his family had made him stronger, braver. He had faced the storm, he had faced his fears, and he had come out victorious. He had found his family, he had saved them. His parents too had learned a valuable lesson. They realized that they had underestimated their son. They had always seen him as a young and carefree horse, but now they saw him as a brave and responsible one. They saw how he had taken the initiative to find them, how he had faced the storm, and how he had saved them. They were proud of him. They were proud to call him their son. The experience had not only brought them closer, but had also made them stronger. They realized that together, they could face any storm, any challenge that came their way. They realized that their bond was their strength and that together they were invincible. And so, life went on. They continued to live their lives happy and content, but they were not the same. They were stronger, braver. They were a family that had faced a storm and had come out stronger. They were a family that had realized the importance of sticking together. From then on, no storm was ever strong enough to shake the bond of Champ and his family, for they knew, together, they could weather any storm. They were a family bonded by love and strengthened by adversity. They were a family that was unbreakable. They were a family that was invincible. They were a family that was ready to face any storm.